SEC Media Days are underway, and we're going to comment on this throughout the week. But show today about what Greg Sankey talked about, including the SEC breaking away. And I've said this before. SEC, you guys might break away, but maybe Alabama needs to break away from you. And I'm going to tell you why. Jim Dunaway, I hope you're listening. The show is brought to you by Pearl River Resort, Philadelphia, Mississippi. Talking about golf, the Azaleas, the Oaks, Dancing Rabbit Golf Course, amazing. Philip M. Steakhouse, and then 2 full casinos, table games, slots, everything you need, even a sports book like out in Vegas. All right, let's get this show started. We got a lot to get into today. Some of you are going, what are you talking about, Mick? Hey, how about the USA Today pick Bama 7? Not in the country, in the conference. All right, there he is, Jake Coker. Deep ball Coker, you know him from his championship run at Alabama, the rings, 6-ring Coker, we can call him that as well. Yeah. I'm just Mick Gillispie hanging out with you guys. I got so many things to talk about here, and I want to get your opinion on it. You guys know how I feel about Alabama's brand. Jake, you know what I'm talking about. You remember the Jackson 5? Remember them? They had a lead singer named Michael, little Michael. Remember what happened? What happened when Michael left? You remember the Commodores?
I think you've lost your mind.
You remember the Commodores?
Yeah, I think you've lost your mind.
Easy like Sunday morning, brick house. What happened when Lionel left? The Commodores had one hit song after that. Lionel took over music. You remember the Supremes?
Yeah, the only way that happens, and this is throwing no shade at
Justin Bieber, NSYNC.
No shade at our current staff, but you're not doing that without Nick Saban. You just ain't doing it.
Okay, well, look, I'm okay. Before I get run down too bad by Jim.
Coach Saban ran college football. I mean,
yeah, right.
Man, NCAA sanctions may be knocking on the door, and Coach Saban says, "Nah, not today."
Feed an old man. Don't let the old man in.
Yeah. When he spoke, people listened, and they just shut their mouths and moved on. And the only way you break away from the SEC is if he's the man in charge, because nobody's questioning you.
Well, here's what my point was, right? Because before, like I said, before some people, their heads blow off, like when Dave Chappelle did the skit on the Chappelle show, the KKK guy takes his hat off and his head blows, the guy's heads blow off. It was one of the funniest videos of all time. One of the funniest shows ever was the Chappelle show, by the way. And that's before you guys do the same thing. It was actually Dave Chappelle pulling it was funny. You know it. You know it. Okay. What I'm saying is this. I saw Greg Sankey. I thought Greg did a good job. Like, I really did. I liked watching him. He was as transparent as you can be. And one of the things that he was asked was, is this really on the table that the SEC would break away from the NCAA? And he said, it's on the table. And what
he said, those conversations are real. Yeah.
Yeah. And why? It's because there's no rules right now. And basically what he's saying is, some of these like Texas Tech and Miami and, what the Big Ten schools are doing with all the spending and, there's no rules. And I put LSU in there. They're going to try to buy themselves a championship too. They don't even want to disclose who's getting paid from the university to play football. And then all these different states have their own rules that, you know what? In Mississippi, you can play 8 years of college, but in Tennessee, you can't, right? Like there's no leadership. There's no direction. And that's what he's saying. Hey, if we break away, it would be to do this. My vision would be, and I love that he said, hey, we get more attendance for our games than any other sports league. I mean, they average 80,000, which is great. I could see
any other sports league in the world.
In the world, right? No doubt. And it does not surprise me. But what I'm saying is this let me finish this real quick. If they broke away, I could see them going with the ACC, taking some of those schools, the Clemsons, and then maybe some schools out of the Big 12. But anyway, I don't know. You go ahead. I mean, I've rambled on too much here, but it was interesting.
Well, I mean, again, the hard part here is having uniform rules for teams that don't have the resources that the SEC has. You take Clemson, you take Florida State, you take Miami, and then you team up with the Big Ten with a couple of West Coast teams that are already in the Big Ten, and then maybe a handful of others, that are kind of outliers. Notre Dame would have to make a decision. I would make them join or get lost, But to put Alabama, Texas, Ohio State, Miami, Michigan under the same scope or guidelines as Nevada or Akron or some of these other schools that there's just it makes no sense. We've gotten to a point where there's such a financial liability that it makes no sense that you're on the same playing field as these other schools. Again, you watch them in the playoff. It's a disaster. James Madison gets beat by 80. What are we doing here?
Yep. They want that, but they don't want that, right? Not have like a set of rules for a league.
Where are the adults?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like it's crazy. I put a lot of this, and it's just me, but I put a lot of this on the Supreme Court when they they're the ones that open the door to NIL with no direction. It's like, hey, it's okay to do this. Like, it's not okay to take money if it's amateur sports. It's not an amateur sports league anymore. It just isn't. I've said this for a long time. There needed to be some kind of balance, but it was like, I think Texas A&M was the first one to realize, like, hey, you can do whatever you want. What's going to stop you from paying for players?
Yeah, and I don't blame them.
I don't either.
I don't blame them. It's like when Coach Saban and Jimbo had their feud. I didn't see anything that was really that harshly said about Jimbo and the recruiting tactics. I think he took that again as a shot towards his efforts, but to me, it highlighted the effort he was making, getting boosters, money people to believe and put forth enough money to build a roster that was really talented. Now, they didn't win, and obviously it didn't work out, but you're doing your job, getting an allocation of funds to pay for a team that's very highly talented.
Hey, look back at it now. Jimbo looks like not good in this. Like, he should have just now nobody cares. Like, he picked a fight with Saban over nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, over nothing.
Well, he you can say he may not look good, but I'll take the $100 million check to walk away.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it from the fight standpoint. He picked this fight with Saban. And it was like, and now looking at it, like, everybody does it. Nobody can even, it's not even a thing, right?
Well, it's just, I could see, having
that's how they do it in West Virginia, though. You like that song?
Having been around Jimbo for every day for 3 years, I knew how that would piss him off.
Yeah, did you?
I guarantee you, behind closed doors, he is so angry right now. Even not behind closed doors, like I could just see the things he's saying about Coach Saban.
He let him have it. Hey, let me tell you guys this really quick about our good buddies at Patriot. Throw that up there, man. Look at this. This is a house that's it's a little smaller than the one that Jake has, but it's mansion size. And these guys can come in, whether you're rolling with something like this, bigger or smaller, they can get you covered. And you're saying, okay, what do you mean get you covered? First off, when you call, the guys answer. And that's Will and Justin, our guys. They're going to answer the phone. Second thing is they're going to offer you free inspections. So whether it's a, palatial estate like the Coker estate or this estate, or if it's something small, moderate, like immodest, like I live in, they're coming out to check and see if you need a roof, if or whatever. They do it all. Patriot Roofing and Builders, unlimited home builders license. They do it all. And when I'm talking about it all, I'm talking about roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and full home renovations. And there's the number 205-919-4494.
Yeah.
That's a nice house on that video, by the way.
Jimbo used to make these
no
comments.
Comment.
he used, yeah. Look, never mind.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't take you down that road. Jimbo used to.
Jimbo used to make these. This is endearing to me, and some people they'll laugh about. I don't know. They may. Anyway, Jimbo used to make these comments sometimes that were almost like proving how redneck he was from West Virginia. Like he. So, I remember a video came up in the meeting room of a dove getting shot out of the air, and he was talking about where it got hit to me and all this. And I was like, Coach, you don't know what you're talking about, just to piss him off. He used to talk about kids with getting in trouble for guns on their high school campus. He's like, God, we used to ride around with guns in our truck rack, And I was like, he's like, we'd shoot deer out of the parking lot. And I'd be like, no, you didn't, Coach. No, you didn't. And Clint Trickett would look at me like, what are you doing? He's about to blow his top.
You know how to get under some skin.
You get all worked up about, in a good, in a funny way, you get all worked up about me just challenging his I don't know, his
redneckness. Yeah, it's redneckness. Because, if there was like a meter for redneckness, you're on there pretty strong.
That's what he was. That's what it was. We saw a video of he was talking about shooting doves or something. I was like, what did you see that on TV? You've never done that. Would you just watch it on TV? Is that how you know what you're talking about?
Yeah. Let's go ahead, and before we talk about anything related to college football, let's just kind of see if all the checks that you get for redneckness, like bass fishing, seen you do it, and you take your small daughters bass fishing too, which is you're passing on that trait to them.
Working on them.
Deer hunting, and not only do you like to I don't get a picture from you on anything. You never send me a picture, but if you shoot a buck, it's like a family portrait. It's like I got wife and two daughters and you and this and a deer head.
I'm getting that painted. That on canvas.
Yeah. Turkey. Now let me check that off the list too, because once in a while we'll get a turkey picture from you. Got to share that with everybody. Let's see. Hunting camp. Yeah, check. You got that. That's where you spend all your holidays.
I'm gonna make my first Instagram post in 5 years, and it's gonna be just dead animals everywhere.
Pickup truck.
You don't have
one of those, do you? Oh,
here's my once a decade check-in. Life's good. And my house just collapsed.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness!
So I'm gonna get a picture of of me, my whole family, with a deer in my front yard, and just the house is just leveled behind me.
The funny thing is, we could talk about whatever, but where you're at your happiest is when when it's you and Ryan Anderson and me and whoever else. And you guys start talking hunting in Texas. I'm just I'm getting the hell out of this conversation. He'll have to. A lot of times, Ryan will interpret what you're telling him to me. No, these are birds. They call them steaks in the sky.
Yeah, Ryan's talking about going, deer hunting at the King's Ranch in Texas. I'm talking about, killing a deer and just south of Montgomery. And you're like, well, I got carjacked in Baltimore once.
Oh, so stupid. All right, let me bring this show back to the stuff we need to do, because we only got about, I don't know, 15 minutes left. They're supposed to have 5, but you guys, I miss you guys. So USA Today did their top, their SEC media poll, right? So this is like the SEC media poll, or the SEC, I'm sorry, the SEC teams that their media picked. We're 7th. I mean, when's the last time a Bama team was picked 7th of 16?
Yeah,
I thought, we're ranked in the top 10, or 11, or sometimes a little bit above that, and all the top 25. We're 7th in their poll. Texas, Georgia, LSU, Ole Miss, somebody else, and Oklahoma. And I'll pull it up here. But anyway, I was just like, unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, I think Alabama's always, back to Coach Saban days, every time there's a quarterback competition, there's always turmoil around that from a media perspective.
Texas A&M. Sorry, Texas A&M. And then Oklahoma and us.
Anyway. People have Kalen DeBoer's had Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson, at quarterback. Ty Simpson, first-year starter, one of the best quarterbacks to play at Alabama, and in my recent memory, and he's right up there with a lot of the best guys, in my opinion. And again, you can say the numbers may not reflect that, or the success in terms of playoff run doesn't reflect that. But when you watch him play, within the system that Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grove set up, he played within that system as well as anybody in the country. Again, I think there are a lot of external factors that made last season go south. But if there's a coaching staff in the country, you look at the guys they recruit, obviously. There's a lot of energy and excitement in those quarterback rooms and on that recruiting trail. He's the best quarterback recruiter. Him and Ryan Grove, best quarterback recruiters in the country. I don't think anybody's got a pipeline like we have right now. The lack of run game is scary to me. The lack of experience up front scares me. But I do think with Ryan Grubb, even if Keelan Russell's, if he's not quite there development-wise, I think Austin Mack, who's been there for 3 or 4 years, and if he starts, he's going to have a really good handle on this offense. And it's going to, don't get me wrong, it's you got that's the biggest key component. A guy who's had experience, walked out on the big stages, and played in those games. But the defense, I think the defense we have this year, with Kane Womack around, he's been there for 3 years, had a few recruiting cycles. Obviously, we've had guys leave, but the guys we brought in are older. He's got Bray Hubbard, Xavier Brown back there. He's got a lot of speed at linebacker. The guys that we brought in on the defensive line, I think, are big, substantial guys that can really cause a lot of disruption. So I think you've got a lot of support on the from a defensive perspective. Offense is going to take time, and I would rather it be that way. I would rather have a really strong defense and have an offense that's got to kind of come along, because winning in shootouts is a lot tougher consistently than having a really good base defense. I think Alabama, especially nowadays with Kalen DeBoer, as unfair as it is, I think they get more negativity than anybody in the country, just because people want to pile on to some of the negative aspects of last season and the season prior to that, in terms of consistency. This team's got to get tougher. There's no doubt about it. I mean, we got to have more consistency week in, week out. And, the thing about Alabama when I was there was, I mean, don't get me wrong, the depth that we had was off the charts. There's no doubt about that. But you mentally broke people. I mean, it was just relentless pressure all the time. And even those games that, you didn't get the breaks go your way. You didn't make all the plays. It ended up being a little bit tighter. The physical and mental dominance of every play being a war for the opposing team was what won us those close games. And because every team's going to have close games throughout the year. It's those teams that have a winning mentality.
I'm looking at the USA Today preseason SEC poll from 2015. You know who they had picked number one?
Clemson or Ohio State? Ohio State.
No, just SEC teams.
Oh, SEC teams? LSU.
They got Auburn 1, us 2, Ole Miss 3, Georgia 4, Missouri 5. Crazy.
Auburn 1, us 2. Who's 3?
Yeah. Ole Miss 3, Georgia 4, Missouri 5, LSU 6, Arkansas 7th, Tennessee 8th. I mean, if this is right, I mean, obviously this is
LSU. I think LSU was the highest ranked team we played in the SEC.
But this is that preseason poll. Now, this is the overall rankings. At Bama 3rd, Auburn 7, Georgia 9, LSU 13, Ole Miss 15, Missouri 23, Arkansas 24, and Tennessee 25. That was like before the season started. Now that was the this is the host of, so this was the 2015 Amway coaches poll, and then this here was the USA Today projection list. Well, so I think it's the same thing, right? But I you got to go back a ways before we were like 7th in the conference, and that's kind of what worries me about when. Okay, let me go back, man. I've been covering Alabama. I've been a fan forever, but a student, graduate, and I remember what we were like before Saban. With that said, it's a good time to you guys to think about this. Residence Inn by Marriott Ocean City, man. What a great hotel. Hit that QR code, vote for them. They're like Saban, back to back to back to back coastal style hotel of the year. Look at that pool right there. I want to do a cannonball with Jake in the pool. We were just in a pool with our friends in Biloxi last week, and we had a great time there. That pool there, though, on top of this hotel looks way better than the one we went to at the Beau Rivage. Check that out right there. You guys need a vacation. I think all of us kind of feel like that right now. Residence Inn by Marriott Ocean City. Beautiful sunsets. You're talking about great restaurants. The customer service there is great. Our guy Keith's got you covered. And it's a short trip, man. I mean, like, get on a plane, fly up to Maryland, and take advantage of one of the most beautiful beaches in this entire country. So Residence Inn by Marriott Ocean City. All right. When you look at where we are right now, it feels to me a lot like Alabama with Mike DeBose and right at the end of the Gene Stallings era, and it's like, we want things to be here. We have some talent, but it's not the same program that we had under Saban. And I know that part of that is you're not going to be able to have a roster like he had. The other part of it, though, as you mentioned it, the physical toughness that Alabama definitely lacks. And then the question's been, well, can you have that type of physical toughness without having the discipline that Saban brought? Because these guys can transfer. They can transfer out if they want to, right? So you can't just lock them in, and NIL money and all that stuff. The answer is yes. Kurt Cinetti showed us that because he's tough. He's tough. He's doing it. So can Alabama find that? Because I feel like they know that they're missing that right now. I feel like they understand that they got to run the ball and stop the run and be more physical.
I'm interested to see, though, how Indiana evolves over the next few years. I mean, I think when you come from James Madison, you bring in a bunch of guys that are, 22, 23, 24. You set the tone somewhat early with established leadership that's been with you that can teach or lead from within the locker room. I think that makes you a lot stronger. You talk about, some of these guys. I mean, some of the guys that I played with at Alabama. They talk about Courtney Upshaw, Dante Hightower, Preston Dial, Chance Warmack, all these guys that came through Alabama. And when freshmen came in, you had guys who were taught by those guys now leading those guys that are coming in as freshmen. The young Anthony Jennings, Ross Piercebacher, all those young guys. It's just year after year after year of reinforcing that tradition and that culture. And now you're looking at teams that lose guys that have been there for 2 or 3 years. Us, a lot of our guys went to Ohio State, went to Texas A&M. You're losing that leadership, and you're not, and not only that leadership just for that year, but it's just layer and layer and layer of reinforcement of that culture. So you're trying to build that over and over and over again. And it's not good to be in a spot where your second and third year guys are leaving, for more NIL money. That's just, to me, that's one of the worst spots. I would rather lose them as freshmen coming in, than have them jump ship year 2, year 3.
And I think that's what you just kind of nailed it as we wrap up, is that's why they didn't, or they're not planning on going out and being crazy and recruiting this year, because they're taking that money and they're going to put it into the guys that are committed and have gone through the system to make sure that they're paid and they're happy and they're staying. And they've done a nice job of keeping as many players as you can from transferring to other places and developing that culture. And I hope that that's the answer to this. I hope that's what's going on. I believe in Kalen DeBoer, guys. Some of you guys, I'll get our friend Judy will message me, and he hates it when you talk about Coach Saban and Kalen DeBoer and compare him and stuff. Look, I'm not saying that, that I don't believe in him. I do. I just think that this is the learning curve, and part of the learning curve is you got to be tougher here.
Yeah.
Final thoughts.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I was just talking about. It's, again, when I was there, you had Jaron Reed, Jonathan Allen, Ashawn Robinson. You had some guys that just Dylan Lee. Dylan Lee was ruthless, Ryan Anderson, guys that just didn't put up with shit. It was if it was every drill, if you weren't doing what you were supposed to do, it was brutal.
Yeah.
Every little detail. You
Yep.
just didn't. It was like being under a microscope at all times with players in the locker room, not just your coaches, but players in the locker room.
Right.
Again, and that goes to the expectation of if you're the runner-up in the national championship, you're a loser at Alabama.
Yep. That's true. Yeah. Scott Cochran, who's on every commercial now, I see that commercial he's in constantly. And I'm glad he's doing so much better now, by the way, where he's basically saying you got to be careful with opiates. And did you see that commercial? And he's screaming. Yeah. He's like, I got a headache. And that's good, man. Great guy.
I have not, but one of the best influential guys at Alabama. I think he was one of the greatest, biggest influences, tone setters in that program. And I'm still just shocked, that happened to him. But I think he's doing really well. I've seen him pretty good bit over the last year, and just love him to death.
Well, he took that second place trophy and he broke it in half. I think we leave it there.
Yeah.
We're brought to you by Pearl River Resort, Philadelphia, Mississippi. We're going to be there soon. You guys go check it out. Great concerts. You got, obviously the casinos, Silver Star, Golden Moon. It's hot out. Hey, go in there. There's a pedestrian bridge that's air conditioned. You can go from one to the other. They got just everything you want to have a great time. Timeout Sports Lounge, which 20 big screen TVs, full-size bar, and then it's got a bunch of different ways that you can gamble legally, just like out in Vegas. You got the the kiosks. You got the window. If you want to ask a question, you can fill out your sheet, and you can even sit the individual kiosk, put the game on that you want to watch, and sit there and gamble and do that. It's awesome, man. Great short trip. You guys check it out. We appreciate them. Jake, roll Tide, my friend.
Roll Tide, brother.
On today's show, two legends call their own plays at Pearl River Resort. Wow, Jake's first throw scores. And Steve's got the crowd pumped. They're absolutely rolling.
'Cause I don't have to be me till Monday, Friday, Saturday,
These two
Sunday.
still got game.
Come call your own plays
At Pearl River Resort. Let's roll.
I don't have to be me